Welcome back and thanks for joining me for another beer review. This time we are heading off to Llandudno and we have one from Wild Horse Brewing Co. And this is a can of their off-season hoppy red ale. It's coming in at 5.3% in a 440ml can. Now, the scenery is different. I'm actually in Llandudno, but I haven't picked this up from Wild Horse Brewing Co. I picked this up from St Martin's service station, local to where I live. And I think it was about the £3.70 mark, something like that. Yeah, lovely artwork, like they always have. So let's get it cracked open and see what we get. A red ale. Looking forward to this. It's something a little bit different. So let's see what it's like. It's certainly looking red anyway, as you can tell in the camera. Plenty of life, nice and hazy, murky sort of colour. I'll give it a swirl, see what else is in there. That is as hazy as you like. It's not necessarily the most attractive looking beer, it's got to be said. It doesn't. There's some lumps in there, if I can get that round. Look at the lumps in there. There's some right lumps at the bottom of the glass. Now, it's not the most attractive looking glass. It looks better in the camera than what I'm seeing. Few rockets, no, not rockets, a few asteroids floating in there. It looks like dirty dishwater on my side. It looks better from your side. We've got a 2-finger of slightly off-white compact head. So, despite the look, let's give her a swirl and see what we get. Oh yeah. Oh, that is lovely. A lovely hop aroma there. There's something in there I can't put my finger on. It's odd, isn't it? Sometimes you can't just pick up certain aromas. There's almost a sweet, I'm certain it's sweet caramel toffee aroma in there with a lovely piney hoppiness. For me, that's what I'm picking up. A little bit sweet malty. It smells really nice. Despite it looking, you might look at that and think, ooh, look at that. Look, see the asteroid at the bottom there? You might look at it and think, oh, it looks a little bit rough. But I'll tell you what, it smells bloody good. So let's shut up and dive in. Cheers, everyone. Yeah. You get that hoppiness that typically reminds you of an IPA. It really does. Let's go in with the other bits first. Let's give her a good swirl. Go in with the other bits. Not a great review, I do apologise. Good body. Nicely carbonated. Again, not too much. Just enough to keep the beer interesting. But you do feel that carbonation, and I would say it sort of ruins the mouthfeel a little bit. It doesn't kill the beer. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't kill the beer, but it is quite busy. Certainly in mouthfeel terms. Taste wise, piney hoppiness to it. A little bit malty. There is kind of a sweetness there. But for me, this, rather than a red ale, it's saying red ale, it's still more sort of typical IPA flavours in there. Yeah, I think the hops they've used in it, which I can't see, because quite frankly, look at that, the writing is tiny and black lettering on that sort of copper looking tin. It's quite hard to see. The hops they've used in this still makes it feel like an IPA with that pininess and that. So it doesn't really feel enough like a red ale. Excuse me. Gas is repeating on me a little bit there. Yeah, piney, hoppy, bitter, and it's got an IPA bitterness to it as well. Whereas ale bitterness for me is slightly different. But it's all right. It's a nice enough drink. Does it really do it for me though? Totally. It's not as good as I was expecting. Like you say, hoppy red ale. You kind of hoped for it to be hoppy, but you hoped for all that sort of more of the red ale sort of flavours in there. Sort of maybe a little bit of a richer sort of ale flavour, maybe a little bit of more caramel or toffee in there. I was sort of hoping for. Maybe it's just me. 5.3% for me. That drinks like that. You get the full 5.3% there, if not a little bit more in this. What do I think of it? A little bit disappointed, if I'm totally honest. You know, hoppy red ale. Yeah, it's kind of got a reddy colour to it. Does it taste like a red ale? No, it doesn't. It just tastes like an IPA for me. And that is sometimes the disappointing thing with some of these beers. Different styles can be great, don't get me wrong, but sometimes some styles get overtaken by another style and they just end up tasting like something that they're not supposed to be for me. But you know, it'll appeal to some, but for me it's not enough of a red ale. It's too much IPA for me. So for that reason, I'll give it it's a thumbs down, because it's not doing enough of what I want this beer to do myself. But to drink, it's okay. You're going to enjoy it. It's nice enough. If you want to pick it up, you pick it up. That's it for this video. I'm going to leave it there because I've rambled on way too long. If you've had this beer before, feel free to comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you again soon on another beer review. Cheers.